says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to preview a very loaded fight weekend. We have fights on Friday and Saturday. On Friday, we have another PBC card on Spike, part of their Friday night knockout series, which features Erislandy Lara versus Delvin Rodriguez. It's also on True TV, I think.
I believe so.
I'll have to look that one up. On Saturday, on HBO, we have Nicholas Walters returning against Wilder-Marriaga. Then we have Deontay Wilder in his first defense of his WBC heavyweight title against Lara-Molina. We're going to start with Friday. Keep that joint in chronological order. Delvin Rodriguez, Erislandy Lara. In this fight, we've got one highly skilled Cuban who a lot of people are not really eager to fight, and he's also not really pleasing to the casual fan or even a lot of hardcore fans in Lara because of his style where he likes to take wide circles around the ring and counter his opponent. Rodriguez, we have a workman-like fighter who has made his bones on the ESPN Friday night fight circuit. Decent fighter, tough guy, a little limited when you're comparing him to the skill of Lara, but he'll probably come up short on Friday night. Take it away, Rob.
All right, so like I said, Delvin Rodriguez is a guy I would say he's one of those fights on ESPN whether he's got guys moving up, trying to get to the next level, not making it to the next level against him, but every time he stepped up to what is deemed B+, A- competition, he's always falling short. Versus Austin Trout versus Miguel Cotto, and it's one more who I can't think of, but it'll come to me later. And again, workman, I would say not really anything that stands out as far as his abilities. And then we have Lara, who is probably one of the most skilled and talented fighters in the 154-pound division.
Yeah, probably skill for skill, he would be the best fighter. I mean, he's got decent pop, he's got good hand speed, he's got decent defense. His legs are very good, you know, given that he can move around the ring so easily.
But his style does not make for not only entertaining, but nothing convincing. Because we know this guy, he uses wide circles, he is an excellent counterpuncher, but he doesn't really take advantage all the time of his counterpunching. We've seen him knock out, was it Ronald Hearns?
Yes.
At 160 pounds, where he just gave him a counter 1-2, and that was a wrap.
Yeah.
But then you see him against guys like where he drew. No, he drew with Canelo. Or
no, he didn't draw with Canelo. He lost to Canelo.
He lost to Canelo.
He had a draw with Vanes Martirosyan.
Vanes Martirosyan, and it's those kind of fights where.
And he escaped against Carlos Molina.
Right. And then, well, he beat Austin Trout convincingly, but
he also beat K9 convincingly.
K9 convincingly, but even with Austin Trout, is kind of like you had a counterpuncher versus a counterpuncher.
Right.
And so whoever led was going to actually be the one who lost. It's almost like he's defiant in his style.
Yeah.
Like if you're a good defensively, you have to make your opponent pay for his mistakes.
Right.
And that's what cost him in the fight versus Martirosyan, against Canelo.
Definitely against Canelo.
Because Canelo wasn't landing those jabs, he was landing those power punches, but he missed more, and I believe Lara landed more.
It wasn't by a lot.
It wasn't by a lot, but you knew it was more than he could do, and Canelo was the one constantly pressing.
Right, and another thing is he was not sitting down on his punches. The good thing is, the last time he lost a fight before Canelo was against Paul Williams.
Right.
And a lot of people thought he won that fight. But what he did in the next fight was he went out there, stuck his claim in the middle of the ring. I think that was against Ronald Hearns, and he flattened him.
Now he needs to do this again.
Right.
Versus Rodriguez. Again, this is a guy who he should, in all intents and purposes, has to look good against if he wants another chance at a belt.
Right.
In the 154
well, he
division.
technically has a belt because he beat K9 for his belt.
Okay, well let's
also belongs to Mayweather.
Well, let's say become a star in that, because we have a lot of guys who may not be as good but are stars. Look at Canelo; he comes and will fight anyone.
Right.
Look at Bundrage; he's just hungry just because he wants that fight.
Right.
You have the young guys like Julian Williams. You have Andre. You have the Charlo brothers. Who am I missing? Give me someone else.
He probably won't fight the Charlo brothers because they got the same trainer.
Well, I'm just saying in the general
he can rematch
Martirosyan, who's always looking for a big fight. So to get those fights, especially those money fights, he's got to look good and do what he has to do. Rodriguez is the type of opponent that he can do that against.
Right. So let's move on to the next fight, which we're going to do Showtime, which has Deontay Wilder in his first defense of the heavyweight title he won from Bermain-Stavern in a hometown fight against Eric Molina. Now in Molina, we have a heavyweight, so he hits hard. Relatively unknown guy, but he is tough from what I've watched of him online. He's a tough guy. But honestly, he shouldn't give Deontay Wilder any trouble. Now, if you guys saw our recap about the Kell Brook fight, we talked about how Kell Brook now has this championship swagger where he's like, I'm the man, and I'm going to show you I'm the man. And I think that's going to happen with Deontay Wilder. It's now a problem that he has a belt. It was already bad enough that he had knocked out everyone he fought up to Bermain-Stavern, a few former world champs in that mix, a few contenders in that mix, and he beat Stavern, who was a quality opponent. Now he's kind of stepping down the competition, but it's in his hometown. He's defending his belt, and he still kind of has that chip on his shoulder because people still don't believe in him. So look for a big-time performance from Deontay Wilder. I'm talking, once again, not leaving out the fourth round.
And he has to, because even though he has a belt, he needs to send a message. And there's always guys that in that division, we already know who's at the top of the mountain. That's Vladimir Klitschko. He needs to send a message like, look, I want you, and this is exactly what I'm gonna do to you. Now that I have a belt, I bring a lot more to the table.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. So with Eric Molina, he needs to lay in that patented right hand, put him down, and walk out still the champion.
Yep. That's pretty much it for that one. That's cut and dry. Let's move on to the main, or not the main event, well, the HBO main event, where we have Nicholas Walters fighting Miguel Marriaga. I'm sorry. And a guy who beat Walters twice in the amateurs, but that was 3-round fights and probably in headgear and all that other stuff. Now we're talking about for some marbles. Walters has a belt. This is a 12-round fight. No more headgear. Probably at a heavier weight than they fought at in the amateurs. I didn't look up to see what weight they fought at in the amateurs and all that good stuff. But in Marriaga, we have a hard-punching Colombian. I mean, what else is new? There's not too many Colombians who don't hit hard that are fighters. And he is a very good fighter, actually. I've seen him fight on ESPN, and when he throws punches, every single punch he throws, he is trying to kill you. This guy punches with evil intentions with every punch. He's very measured in his approach. He's very technically sound. And he's not like some of the other guys who have left Colombia and immediately lost. He's fought in Mexico, I think, 3 or 4 times. And then he fought in the U.S. once. That was a time on ESPN. And he won by knockout. So, Walters has a good opponent in front of him. How good is what we're going to find out on Saturday night. Because we've seen Nicholas Walters in there with some good guys. And he wants to be a major player in the featherweight division. He wants to fight the Lomachenkos, the Santa Cruzes, the Rigondeaux, even though he's at 122. But he wants those, did I say Lomachenko?
He wants to fight them.
Yeah, he wants Lomachenko. He wants Abner Mares, Santa Cruz. He wants all the other belt holders in that division. And he wants to be the guy. So in order for him to beat a guy, he has to exercise those amateur demons and beat Marriaga convincingly.
Yeah, this is Marriaga. If I'm Marriaga, I feel that I have the mental edge going into this fight, because it's not like he beat him and then went into obscurity. He beat him and kept winning. He's 20-0 with like 18 knockouts.
Yes.
And Walters is also undefeated. So in Marriaga's mind, oh, I beat you twice, and I can do it a third time. I'm gonna take your O, and I'm gonna take. Does he have a belt?
Yes, Walters has a belt.
And I'm gonna take your belt. Walters has to, like you said, exercise those demons. Remind him and everyone in the division know that I'm a champ,
and I'm coming for you.
That's right.
So both guys had very good jabs. Both Walters as well is a very powerful guy. I think he may have the height and reach advantage in this fight, so he's gonna have to use it. But like I said, Marriaga is very technically sound, so if he makes mistakes, he can make Walters pay for those mistakes. So he has to make very few mistakes. He has to do what he usually does and stake his claim in the middle of the ring and sharpshoot him to death. I think he can do it. I think we're going to have an entertaining fight on our hands. Expect both guys to be buzzed, but I think Walters being able to take on championship caliber opponents already, and Marriaga has not. I think that experience will pull the fight through for Walters. So that's it, guys. Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comments section. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. You can hit us up on Facebook, Capital Combat, Google+, same name. You can hit us up on our email, capitalofcombat@gmail.com. Get you in the combat mailbag. And stay tuned, because we got multiple new technical toolboxes coming to you. See you guys in the next episode. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.